What's up everybody, welcome to another KeySmash Studios video. Today we're doing Mission 5 of the Halo Reach campaign, the Long Night of Solace. If you haven't already, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe on all of our videos, as it really does help us out, and we'll hop right into this. We left off with the Covenant supercarrier, the Long Night of Solace, uncloaking its stealth and destroying the frigate. So, it's a narrative design choice that they've made the Covenant seem really super strong, and they have this huge ship that's laying siege to Reach.
That spire was indeed a teleporter linked to a cloaked Covenant supercarrier, a grave threat. Thankfully, help is imminent. 60% of the UNSC fleet is en route to Reach from existing deployments. The first battle group should arrive within 48 hours.
48 hours? That's imminent? Uh-oh. Who's your money on this time?
Her.
You always pick her.
She's always had him dialed in.
That thing's crushing us and we're waiting for backup. They'll be backing up a graveyard.
All our nukes are either out system or went down with the ships that carried them. You're preaching to the converted.
How converted?
I know that look, Cat.
You can say no.
No.
You don't even want to hear it?
Fine, I'll hear it.
Remember that accident a couple years back? Colony ship en route to Cygnus, 700 dead.
Vaguely a slip space drive malfunction, right?
Actually, it worked fine. The drive was mounted improperly after a service haul-out. When it fired, it teleported half the ship to oblivion.
And this is relevant. How?
A certain Covenant supercarrier could, with some assistance, suffer the same unfortunate accident.
Even for you, Cat, that's
Inspired?
not the word I would use.
What's going on?
Go ahead, explain.
May I?
Don't cut yourself.
Objective: destroy Covenant carrier in geosynchronous orbit above us.
This sanctioned, sir.
What do you think?
Oh,
Method: a slip space drive in lieu of the nukes we don't have. Delivery system: us. Solvable: getting us up there. That and getting our hands on a slip space drive. Thank you for sharing.
So, all we need is orbit-capable transport and the single most expensive piece of equipment made by man.
As a soldier in the field, I couldn't possibly have access to those kinds of resources. That said, a good place to look might be, I don't know, the nearest non-existent launch site in the non-existent Saber program, dismissed by 3 administrations as preposterous rumor, and in which our newest member was certainly never a pilot.
That's me!
You know that.
All we need is a green light from Holland.
Good luck with that.
You're the one asking him.
Well, there's no way in hell he's gonna go for this.
Spoiler alert, he does. So we get a little bit of story building there from the group setting. We see, once again, we are reaffirmed that George has a strong connection to Reach, Cat, strong connection to technology, and that George is a bit of a big softie.
bit of a hike to the launch facility.
Any closer, it's too hot to land.
Copy that, Commander.
Move up the beach, Noble.
So notice the dropships and various Covenant vessels in the sky. It's really like they don't interact with the player at all, but they do add to the feeling of how dire it is on Reach, and that's important. Can't escape. Oh well. It's always worth a try. But notice that, again, we have barriers on the side of a narrative design. I wanted to get a higher vantage point to look at all the ships. So George with a vocal line that really enforces the narrative design. He is from Reach. This is his home. He cares strongly about Reach. See drop pods from the Covenant vessels coming down. Again, emphasizing the air superiority of the Covenant. George is just mowing people down. Alright. I guess I'll just stand back here.
More hostiles. In the rocks to the south.
And notice the level design here. So again, we're towards the middle part of the game. We are now fighting a barricade going uphill. And also notice that they are using UNSC stuff. So this gives us a bit of story as well as letting us have extra difficulties. So the enemies have barricades that are going to assist them that we're fighting against, and they're from previous UNSC occupation. So it gives us the knowledge that the Covenant have taken over. Hey, of course we know this, but it is just another little reminder. Uh-oh. I thought they were dead.
Everybody inside. More hostiles on the way. Inside 6, let's go.
VR here. Yeah, there it is.
Flight controls this way. They're expecting you.
Still can't believe Holland said yes to this.
So there's the audio cue that Holland said yes to it.
Right through that door, Commander.
Before he changes his mind.
Ooh. Hello, boys. I really want you to have shotgun. Hey, a multiplayer level. How about that?
George, 6, get to the Saber before the Covenant wreck it.
What about you and Cat?
June's on his way with a Falcon. We'll exfil after you launch. Move.
You heard him, 6. Let's go.
Launch team, Saber is prepped and ready for launch.
He's got a 6.
Aw, yeah. I love rockets. I guess this isn't really a rocket, it's like a jet plane thing. Close enough.
Struts disengaged. Commencing launch in T-minus 5, 4, 3, 2.
So again, nice, clever level design here. They're gonna load us into a different level, and they get to unload all this while they're doing a cutscene. This is a pre-recorded cutscene, so it's just a video. It's not an in-engine cutscene. And they get to load our whole next level while we're going through this cutscene.
Engine burn nominal.
We use some actual aerospace engineering terms. Nominal.
Stage separation in 3, 2, 1. Stage separation.
That's a cool little camera angle.
Second stage ignition confirmed.
So, us being in the ship is going to give us a planet-wide objective look at what Covenant's doing to reach.
Noble Actual to Saber Bravo 029er, over. Copy Actual. Colonel Holland. Affirmative, Noble 5. Welcome to Operation Uppercut. I'll be your control from here on out. Understood, Colonel. Noble 6, these Sabres have been customized for orbital defense. You may need to get reacquainted. Rendezvous at Anchor 9 with Frigate Savannah and the other Sabres as soon as you're ready. Holland out.
Wow, we're moving the steer.
Inbound 6. You should head for the Savannah. Multiple unidentified contacts.
Savannah Actual to Sabre teams, be advised, we have bogies inbound. Anchor 9 to all UNSC ships. Station defenses are down. Requesting combat support until we can bring them back online.
Here we go, 6. Show them what you can do.
Inbound signatures. So again, we're introduced to a mechanic in the form of this. In the form of this ship, and we're given a easy tutorial to that right away.
Shots from that Banshee. I'm getting hammered. Weapons free. You know your way around a Sabre.
Of course I do. I worked on them.
Weapons hot. That Banshee is all over me. Taking fire! Green hit!
So again, notice the visual and audio confirmations as we go through this tutorial. The Banshee's all over me. You know, things like that. In a relatively safe tutorial, we're learning how to operate a vehicle that we haven't gone through before in this campaign. We've got visual indicators. To their location. We've got audio indicators. And we're really not getting shot at all that much, so it's just a really safe tutorial to learn a mechanic.
Anchor 9er to UNSC ships. Impulse drive signatures detected. Fighter class. Heads up, Sabres.
So now that we've completed the tutorials,
take down their shields, then hit them with your missiles.
Defensive batteries at 79%. Buy us another minute, Sabre teams.
20 rounds on target. Can't lose the serum.
pretty standard flight controls here, but notice the scaffolding. As you're learning mechanics, they're adding more complex things. From a level design perspective, this entire level is just a skybox. If I fly in this direction as far as I can, the level will never change. Outside of just being further away from these things, we won't start going around the planet or anything like that.
Clear the lane, we'll light them up. Can't shake free of that Seraph fire.
So now we have our next scaffolding, right? We have a bunch of Banshees and Seraphs. The Seraphs need to have their shields taken down by either the turret or our primary weapon fire. But the big thing on this mission is that we can now take damage. Really, in the last few ones, we really haven't been in any danger of potentially dying. But now we are much more likely to take damage.
Gunboats are in position. Damage control teams at the ready. Torpedoes incoming. Roads on target. Collision alarm. 6, you got a bogey in hot pursuit.
I'm in danger of dying here.
Great shot. Weapons hot.
I did.
Is there any place the Covenant isn't?
Anchor 9 to all UNSC ships. Station defenses are back online. Clear the lane. We'll light them up. Weapons hot. This Banshee is all over me. He's got me 0. One gun. I can't shake this air shot. I can't shake. One hot.
I just like the fact that if you think about it, there are a bunch of elite legs just sticking out of the Banshee in space.
Taking fire. I'm taking shots. Taking the shot. That's a kill. Saber teams. Phantoms are inbound on Vector 7, Mark 4 Anchor 9 to all UNSC fighters. Multiple inbound Phantoms, headed straight for our defensive batteries. Saber team, marking high-value gunboat targets now. Taking the shot.
I'm taking direct hits from the Phantom. Friendly fire on my Saber.
Someone get this damn thing off of me! I'm getting tagged!
On your 6. I have a clear shot.
Hold it down. Gunboats are in position. Damage control teams at the ready. Torpedoes incoming.
In space, no one can hear you scream.
My sights.
What are we shooting at?
Weapons free.
Anchor 9er to UNSC ships. All targets neutralized. Bravo 029er, you are clear to dock. Activating marker.
Holland to Bravo 029er. Noble 5, you ready to go? Affirmative, Colonel.
Now we're gonna dock. Yay. And again,
here,
loading
6.
screen here.
Warning. M-Spec re-entry pack disengaged.
I need your override.
Warning. M-Spec re-entry. Cockpit depressurization complete. Canopy release lever armed.
Mike Sagadov Siva.
Noble 5, please repeat.
Pull up surface grade 19 by 22.
Gladly. Only Sword Place, Sector 18G.
Thermal enhance.
Noble 5, your pulse is elevated. There is nothing you can do for Dr. Halsey and the others inside Sword Base. The mathematics are determinate. Noble 5?
I know.
Bravo 029er, you're cleared to re-engage thrusters.
Noble 6, this is Holland.
Go ahead, Colonel.
We've flagged a Corvette-class vessel on a predicted docking track with our target. Get our makeshift bomb on that Corvette, and we have our delivery system. Noble 5 will escort the bomb. I need your Saber team to clear the way for boarding.
Understood, Colonel.
As she's already donated her slip space drive to the cause, the Savannah will be joining you to provide local fire support.
UNSC Savannah. Our wings may be clipped, but we've got your back.
I've stuck my neck out for Noble on this one, Lieutenant.
We'll get it done, Colonel. 6 out.
So we get another just big emphasis on George being thoroughly attached to Reach.
Target Corvette sighted within visual.
So now we're
range of nav beacon
moving into
RA-15.
Covenant-controlled airspace. I guess space.
We have visual. Target confirmed.
Covenant-controlled space. We're on the so-called offensive now. Yeah, I'll take it down, boys. Don't worry. But we do have the narrative design elements of George being thoroughly attached to Reach, which should be an indicator of what's to come.
I want to clip her engines, Colonel. See if we can slow her down.
Good thinking, Savannah. That'll make boarding her a whole lot easier. Noble 6, I'm marking targets. Take out the Corvette's main engines.
Weapons free.
That is not what I wanted. Wow. I wanted to spin sideways.
Frigate Savannah in position. Saber team, sound off.
Echo 1, all systems nominal.
Echo 2, good to go. Echo 3, systems green.
Echo 4, all systems online.
Red 5.
Solid
Oh.
copy. We are currently jamming the Corvette's comms. Hit it hard while it can't call for help.
Agreed. Saber teams, clear a path to that Corvette.
That bogey's trying to get a lock on you.
I want to clip her engines, Colonel. See if we can slow her down.
Good thinking, Savannah. That'll make boarding her a whole lot easier. Noble 6, I'm marking targets. Take out the Corvette's main engines.
Look out, Noble. You got fighters in attack position.
I feel like he...
Firing.
Oops.
Angie has me zeroed. Taking a shot. Can't outrun this Banshee. 6.
Heads up, Sabers. Multiple impulse drive signatures detected. More bogeys incoming.
Echo 2 to Savannah Actual. Where are the reinforcements coming from? I thought the target was jammed.
Must be squadrons coming back from patrol, Echo 2.
Don't let any of them get away, Sabers. Kill them before they bug out and warn that supercarrier what we're up to.
Warning. Energy flares detected in the Corvette's aft launch bays.
Firing! Enemy craft down! Rock and roll!
So the chatter that you hear is indication that things aren't going quite as planned. There's squadrons rolling up. From a narrative design point, we're sitting at a place where all of the storylines are sort of merging into the UNSC assuming where the Covenant is and being wrong almost every time. And
Analyze all available data on that Corvette. Find a way inside.
Scans indicate a structural weakness surrounding a platform on top of the vessel.
Noble 6, set down immediately on that Corvette's topside landing pad. Noble 6, the Savannah's countermeasures won't work forever. Find a way inside and permanently disable that cruiser's communications. As soon as we're sure the Corvette can't squawk, we'll initiate uppercut phase 2.
space battles, where DMR should totally work. But keep this in mind from a game design perspective. Players are always willing to suspend disbelief. For example, gunpowder lighting up in space if the gameplay is engaging.
Countermeasures diverting all power and personnel to weapons.
All right, Noble. Let's get that slip space bomb on board. 6, head for the hangar.
Colonel, on our way to the hangar.
Noble 5, meet him there. Affirmative. On approach.
It's with shields. everybody. Oh. This is awkward. This is real awkward. Notice the interesting mechanic of the shield generator giving all of the grunts the shields, though. That's not something that they had to do, but it is a very interesting development. Yeah, much that. Better.
Six, go for those shield controls. I need in.
Powder keg is aboard, Colonel.
Copy that. 6, get your fire team to the bridge. The Corvette's refueling run with the supercarrier will have to be initiated manually.
Yes, sir.
5, stay with the bomb and discourage the curious.
My pleasure. Hear that, Lieutenant? I'll be all by my lonesome back here. Make it quick, would ya?
Wow, I have a re-entry unit.
Noble 6, get that Corvette moving toward the supercarrier. Head for the bridge. Find the nav controls.
We got plenty of arms and ammo if you need them, Spartan.
Shall we, boys? Did I just get stuck? Yeah, I did. Awesome.
Savannah to Holland, sustaining major structural damage. We need to break off, Colonel.
Copy, Savannah. Our team is in. Disengage.
So,
Break off! Hull breach! Reactors flaring! Damn it, I'm losing her!
uh-oh. They give us a window just in time to see the Savannah blow up.
Savannah actual. Can you hear me? Frigate's gone, 6.
Press F, boys.
Noble, you're in deep with no cover. Get that Corvette moving and get the hell out of there.
Looks like the bridge, Spartan. Let's clear it out.
Surprise! Oh, there's a cloak here. Yay! Hello. That scared me.
Move, Lieutenant. Put that Corvette on a refueling track to the supercarrier. Well done, Noble 6. Uppercut initiated. Corvette is underway. 6. Our ride out of here is taking heavy fire. Get back to the hangar.
Where you going, buddy?
At your earliest convenience, Noble 6.
I'll take that easily.
More contact.
Take your... Suppressing fire.
Didn't it shoot you like 3 times? Hey, buddy.
Good of you to come. Hostiles are pounding the hell out of a Pelican.
Also, now the ammo's moved, huh? Don't mind if I do. I ruined your day? Or that home slice ruined your day?
Lost contact. All clear.
That's awkward. So, pretty standard defense level here. We've got lots of barricades and since we're halfway through the game, they're not just coming from one side, they're coming from all over, so players will continually need to cycle and move. Big fat whiff. Lots of whiffs.
Area clear. Someone give me some help. Nothing to report.
And stay down. Savannah did a number on the door. There's no way back up to the Sabres.
Noble 6, form up on me.
Distance is closing on this vessel's refueling track with the Covenant supercarrier. 76 seconds to endpoint.
So, it's gonna be like mad. Well, I got good news and bad news. This bird took some fire and our thruster gimbal is toast, which means the only way off this slag heap is gravity.
And the good news?
That was the good news.
At current velocity, 53 seconds to end point.
Yeah.
Notice the dropping of the helmet.
Bad news is, time is fried. I'm gonna have to fire it manually.
That's a one-way trip.
We all make it sooner or later. Better get going, Six. They're gonna need you down there. Listen, Reach has been good to me. The time has come to return the favor. Don't deny me this. Tell him to make it count.
So, from a narrative design perspective, having George get to have his moment where he thinks that he's saved Reach is exactly what you would want for him to do. George thinks he's saved Reach completely. Notice the EMP field from the slip space drive. It's just a little cool little bit of homage to the lore of the game.
Slip space rupture detected.
Yeah, we're picking up anomalies too. Are you reading it?
Slip space rupture detected.
Multiple Covenant signatures.
Slip space
Does anyone
rupture
have them?
detected.
They're everywhere.
Slip space rupture detected.
The whole damn Covenant.
And we know now that George, his sacrifice, well, he doesn't know, was in vain, but we do. So, very, very good narrative design with George. He's actually my favorite of the Noble Six team. I think they did the best job with his arc. Thank you so much for watching. I have a love-hate relationship with that mission. Like I said, George is my favorite. But I really do believe from a narrative design perspective, we all know that Noble Six die. And we know how Reach ends. We knew that prior to the game coming out, and we know that from the very get-go of the story. So it's a really difficult narrative design to take a story where you know the start and you know the end and be able to get some type of emotional connection to the player while that story is happening, if they already know the start and the end of the story. And pretty much the only way they can do that is having really gut-wrenching emotions hit the player as each member of the Noble Six dies. And George, they do a really great job of emphasizing how close he is to Reach and how much he thinks he's saving Reach. If you noticed in that level, they often show the planet, the surface of Reach being covered by like a shield-like substance that's called being glassed in the Halo universe. It's them killing everything in that area. So there's just extra incentives all throughout that entire level for George to do what he did. And I think they did a really great job with his story arc from start of Reach till now. So with that in mind, I really hope you enjoyed this episode. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please let me know down in the comments below. I'm always more than happy to hear from you guys. And like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. It really does help us out. And we'll see you next week.